having the music turned down, the lights turned down low is something else for this game. Why is the neck tilted? Let me how about I just reset it? Okay. The neck better? Need exercise and a shower? Okay. Okay, so am I loud enough? Or is the music still too loud? I can never tell. I might lower it down a little bit. You don't want it too low though, because then you won't be able to, okay, I'm good. Okay, so I'm 30 minutes late because, I forgot that I needed to delete the save data for the game, because otherwise there was a big spoiler right here, and it just said true end. And it took me a while. I kept deleting the save data. I was like, but it keeps coming back. I uninstalled the game 3 times. And the third time around, I was like, let me just try and see if I can find the save data by just searching my PC. And it was in my OneDrive folder. It just kept pulling the save data from the OneDrive folder. I had to just delete it. There's a bunch of games in there too, save data. No wonder my OneDrive is constantly telling me that it's full, because there's a bunch of old games in there. Okay, new game. November 6th, 2009, 10:28 p.m. Okay, I actually remember this section really well. I'm not looking forward to it. It came without warning. Oh, this was the... I'll just let it play. I know exactly what's happening. It was a magnitude 7.8 earthquake with an epicenter directly under the city. This disaster reduced one of Tokyo's busiest downtown areas to nothing in a single night. The high-rise buildings that had birthed so many trends and fads collapsed, as if giving up on their role in society. Black fires spread through the city. As individuals fell into the grip of the crowd psychology, their terror was magnified. Combined, all of these things took many lives. The final death toll was 3,851. The final number of injured, 30,927. This event would later be known as the Shibuya earthquake. Even in all that destruction, people still suffered the most in their hearts. Some who had lost their families came together to share new resolve, while others who had been forced to watch their friends die were driven by guilt to take their own lives. As a baby was miraculously reunited with its parents after 72 hours, a child in an evacuation shelter asked her dad, "When's Mommy coming home?" He had no answer. Some of the wounded made it to hospitals by looking at real-time updates on the web. Others saw people on the internet talking about the disaster as if it were a movie and were driven mad. A homeless man was saved from malnutrition by an organized volunteer group. But at the same time, a middle school boy punched a self-centered volunteer who came to Shibuya to find himself in the face. It was the first time in that boy's life he'd ever been violent. The psychological toll was incredible, and many of the survivors would later manifest symptoms similar to those associated with PTSD. The young were hit the hardest, and before long, the cause of those symptoms was given a name: Chaos Child Syndrome. Rebuilding happened at a feverish pitch never seen before. It felt inappropriate to say, "hang in there," but people felt that somebody had to do something. The new slogan was Shibuya, a city reborn, and no amount of money or manpower was spared in aiding the endeavor. The whole town was in the grip of a fever. In private, a leader of the redevelopment effort said, "This may sound unkind, but this frenzy feels like a town burying its grief by holding a festival." Building codes were rigorously evaluated with an eye toward earthquake engineering. Perhaps in an effort to emphasize the city's safety, security cameras were put up all over town. Shibuya would become a place where everyone could live in peace. But at the same time, a rumor began to spread about the earthquake. Something about this earthquake doesn't make sense. There were no aftershocks, and the damage had spread in a strange way. Harajuku and Ebisu, areas only a kilometer away from Shibuya, suffered few casualties and even fewer collapsed buildings. This damage pattern had never been observed in any prior earthquake, and so more than a few pundits claimed the Shibuya earthquake must have been artificial. More than anything, some of the survivors all said the same things. "I saw a white light. I heard a sound like a ringing in my ears." Too many people experienced this for anyone to laugh it off, but no cause of those phenomena were ever found. It was just more evidence to those who believed that something about the earthquake had been wrong. Then, 6 years after the strange earthquake, in 2015, something else was about to attract attention in the reborn city of Shibuya. I love this. I love this. If you are God and the delusion becomes reality. I love the bad English. It's so good. September 7th, 2015, Sunday night. Ooh! With the spinning fetus in the D, yes. Ooh, that's real good. I like the opening. I don't remember that. You see, this game takes place 2015, 2010. In the chronology of the series was Chaos Head Noah, which is when the earthquake occurs. If you guys want to learn more about that, play the game, but also don't play the game. You'll hate the main character, because I know I hated him a lot. He's #1 loser in the Book of Losers. Every single line out of this dude's mouth and in his head, you just want him to die. So this main character, from what I remember, isn't nearly as unbearable. They really improved upon the loser archetype. Okay. Okay, I don't remember. Wait. Take 3 minutes for questions. The second he spoke, the comment box started to fill. This dude's live streaming! Otani Yuma watched it for a few seconds and then saw the request. "When does Haru-chan tell us she's dating somebody?" He smiled to himself. Just what he wanted. Most of the requests were about hot actors or cute idols. His audience was so stupid that it was easy to tell exactly what they were going to say. What? This dude's an asshole. I don't remember this. The problem was always whether the name that came up was someone he knew. That was a question of luck and of how popular they were. But Haru-chan, her full name was Haruko something or other. She was fine. Just a few days ago, he forced himself to go to an event he'd rather have skipped and seen it for himself. Yes. Satisfied, Otani got up to get some snacks like he always did. He lives in a one-bedroom condo located 8 minutes from Shibuya Station. Cost 150,000 yen per month. Oh, that Tokyo cost of living. Just a one-bedroom. And it's, you know, this shit's super tiny too. It had been built after the earthquake, so the furnishings and layout were modern. A little more room would have been nice, but compared to the 40,000 yen per month place he'd live in last year, it was heaven. Oh no. At 21 years old, Otani felt satisfied for the first time in his life. In 4th grade, he'd gotten big into online gaming and stopped going to school. Eventually, he'd stopped leaving his room altogether. Wait, he stopped going to school in 4th grade? Oh, that's really bad. How old would that be in Japan? 9-ish, maybe? 9, 10? That's really bad. Ooh. Then he'd gotten addicted to drugs that made him sleepy, but then nothing else. Once, seeing only darkness in his future, he'd planned to commit suicide. Sucks. Connection lost? Oh, no, I still see myself. You lost a couple minutes there? Aw. Don't worry, not much has happened so far. We're just learning more about this person. He's a live streamer. And he has had a lot of mental health issues. He dropped out of school in 4th grade. Really sad. In the chaos after the earthquake 6 years ago, he'd finally managed to leave his room, but his family had already given up on him. After he failed his entrance exams, he went to live on his own in Shibuya, and he hadn't spoke to his parents since. As far as they knew, he'd failed the exams 3 times in a row. In fact, he hadn't even gone to the test after the first time. There wasn't anything he wanted to learn in college, or any companies he wanted to work for badly enough. He had no goal in life at all. But things were different now. You should get off of 4chan. Maybe stay away from 4chan. Nothing good happens there. He took a block of cheap cheese he'd bought. He took a block of cheap cheese he'd bought at the supermarket out of the fridge. Usually he never ate anything this cheap. But on Nikonia, live streaming, it wasn't just what you said. How you looked when you said it also mattered. Otani wasn't a good-looking man, let alone a cute girl. He was just a plain old guy, and so to keep his program popular, he needed to make them think that he was poor. Barely managing to scrape by, in fact. Ooh, this dude's a sleaze bag. Don't worry, I'm actually poor. No lies here. That's why he kept the area around his PC and the parts of his apartment that you could see with his webcam completely plain. Source, trust me, bro. Oh no. Last month, he'd finally reached his goal of 4,000 viewers. At the same time? 4,000 at the same time? What does this stream got? Like 2, 3? He is really making it big. For a man with nothing going for him like Otani, this was extremely unusual. 3 months ago, he'd guessed the winners of a popularity contest a certain idol group was holding, as well as their total number of votes. That must have really paid off. Damn! After that, his numbers had been going up steadily. Late last month, when his streams had appeared at the top of Nikonia's videos page, he'd seen a huge increase. Right now, he'd gone above 4,500, and it was quite possible he'd break 5,000 by the end of the month. It was around late last year when he started to wonder about his power. It was a certain rumor on one of Ad Channel's occult boards that made him really start to realize what he had. The name he'd chosen for his stream subtly reflected this. Today I learned I can see the future. He took out a knife to cut the cheese. There was a strange sound. He thought he just imagined it when Knock, 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 knock. He heard it again. It was coming from the door. Someone was clearly knocking on his door. Jungle, maybe. What's jungle? Hold up. How do I... No. We are not ending the game. Hold up. I don't remember how... Okay, found it. Jungle. Oh, Amazon. Okay. That's just Amazon. Okay. Okay, now they're all marked as viewed. Right? Come on. Whatever. Let's get out of this. Suspicious, he walked toward the door to answer, then checked the clock. It was 11:41 p.m. Not exactly normal delivery hours. He tried to ignore it, but... The knocking continued. It was the same rhythm at the same pace, as if the visitor's goal wasn't to come inside, but simply to make that sound. Unnerving. If that happened to me, I'd be shitting myself, and it's just knocking. Otani felt a bit creeped out. He decided to go to the intercom camera and see who it was, but then realized that would be pointless. Only the auto-locking door on the first floor had a camera. The door to Otani's room on the 5th floor had an intercom, but no camera. Otani gave up. Can we stop with the knocking? Knock, 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 knock. No, the knocks were too steady for that, and there was no voice yelling at him to open up. He'd seen this door a million times, but suddenly it looked somehow different. Someone he didn't know was on the other side of the wall, demanding entry in the middle of the night. Somehow this made the door seem intimidating. Otani thought he might look through the peephole to see who was outside. He was in disgust to find himself too scared to even get close to the door. Yeah, I know how that feels. That's very relatable. Wait, the intercom didn't have a camera, but it did have a microphone. He turned toward the living room so he could use the intercom and find out what they wanted. Otani! Oh, Otani-san, it's me. Sorry to come by so suddenly. He stopped when he heard that voice. It's me. I'm very sorry to bother you at this hour. Otani tried to remember who the speaker was, but found he couldn't. But from the tone of the voice and the words, they probably weren't a weirdo. When they said, "I'm sorry," it sounded like they really meant it. Otani sighed softly with relief, and then realized he was still carrying the knife he had been using to cut cheese. It suddenly felt stupid to feel so nervous. He quickly laid the knife on top of the sink. It's me. Don't you remember? The voice simply repeated itself. But who are you? Otani whispered to himself as he opened the door. Otani narrowed his eyebrows at the people standing there. People? He looked them up and down, and then looked at their faces again. Their eyes met. Otani suddenly felt a piercing headache. Otani closed his eyes and put his right hand up to his temple. He could feel the blood pounding in his veins through his fingers. He staggered and quickly put his other hand against the wall to keep from falling over. The pain was like the old days, when he'd overdosed on antidepressants, but much more intense. He grit his teeth against the pane and dug his nails into the wall that was holding him up, as he waited for the pain in his fingers to help dull the pain in his mind. Oh, Tani-san, are you feeling okay? He heard a voice he'd heard many times before and felt a concerned hand on his shoulder. He somehow managed to ignore the pain and open his eyes. A worried face was peering down at him. Overwork, perhaps? You've been so busy lately. You shouldn't push yourself too hard. He opened his mouth as wide as he could and moaned, trying to ease the pain as he led his important guests inside. As he turned his back on his guests, he told himself that it had been a long time since he'd seen them. Or maybe not? It couldn't have been more than 2 months since they last met. It only felt long because he'd wanted to see them so badly. While he was out there, he decided he would cut some cheese for himself and his guests. Oh, don't worry about us. What's wrong? The blade wasn't cutting into the cheese. That's strange, he told himself as he pushed down with more force. He cut into its surface and it made an unpleasant sound he'd never heard before. But no matter how hard he pushed, it wouldn't go further. Confused, he yanked the knife back and forth like a saw, but it only cut in slightly deeper. It was as if there was something hard inside the cheese. Even though he'd only just taken it out of the fridge, it was slightly warm. Irritated, he slammed the handle of the knife against the cheese. What do y'all think is happening right now? I know exactly what's happening, and I'm not happy about it. I don't like this. I hate this. I actually really hate this. Okay. But all it did was bash it in a little. He couldn't cut through it. Thank you. Thank you. I will do this poll. Thank you for poll. Gives me a little respite from what's happening. What's happening right now? He's cutting into a brick. He's not holding a knife. Pee pee poo poo. Okay? Poll has started. It'll be live for 3 minutes. I know what the answer is. But do y'all know what the answer is? Okay. 3 votes, 5 votes for pee pee poo poo. Okay. I'm gonna continue while the voting continues. I'll help you. His guests must have heard the sound, but because they rushed over. I'm just gonna say, do y'all think it's makes sense for his guests to help him cut cheese? They had another knife. When did they get that out? I don't know. What did they have the knife with them when they came in? Did they take it out of your drawer? Where did they get the knife from? There's a trick to cutting this thing. It's to cheese. Oh, that's a bad noise. Must be from Florida. They also, in Florida, it's not unlikely to have a pet alligator or a crocodile. I'm just kidding. They put the knife up against the cheese and began to move it with a practiced hand. Oh, they cut cheese a lot like this, huh? It sounds like your work is going well. They smiled at Otani, their voices slightly low. Otani realized that they were trying to keep their voices from being picked up by the streaming microphone and lowered his voice as well. He grinned and nodded. Oh, my live stream is going well too. His guest had introduced him to a firm that had handled advertising space for popular websites, which had been giving him regular work. His reputation had quietly spread throughout the small web advertising industry, and soon he was getting more and more offers. Okay. Something we know. He really does know his guests. His guests know about his superpower. And they're trying very hard not to be picked up by that streaming microphone. And Pee Pee Poo Poo won the poll. Thank you. Okay, let's continue. Then why do they stream? Ah, okay. That's right. His power wasn't meant to be wasted on jobs that anyone could do. Okay, that's just a chair. I got scared. No, it's wonderful, I think. And done. After he'd smacked it a few times, the cheese was a little funny looking, but the even slices were lined up neatly on the plate. It's nothing. Go on. I'll wait until your stream is finished. Okay. He has webcam, right? And they're not. They're avoiding the webcam too, I'm guessing. Oh! That's cheese! Otani took his cheese back to his seat and saw a flood of comments reading, "He's late!" and "Did he log off?" What should have only been 3 minutes had turned into more than 15. That's a long time to be cutting cheese! Otani put a bite of the cheese in his mouth and began to chew loudly. That's why you should buy pre-sliced cheese. Yeah. Yep, definitely. He apologized to the camera, remembering to keep the act of being poor and starving. I forgot that he was pretending to be poor. That's so funny. And as he hoped, the comments started to come in. Nika is always like this, right? Shake, shake, reported this broadcast will end soon. Wasn't this the plot to some new movie? Can't read the comments or watch this, I can only laugh. Extreme! Hold up, can I look at those? Miyashiro believes a person's use of LOL is a sign that they are of low intelligence. He refuses to use it himself. I'm stuck up. I accidentally did a quick save. Shoot. I'm trying to... No, don't close. Okay, finally. Let me just take a screenshot of this bullshit. Y'all see this? This is what I have to work with for these games. The worst fucking button layout in the world. Okay, backlog is F2. Delusion trigger is the choices you make in the game. You either get a positive or negative trigger. You'll see. The first time I played this game, I accidentally played through the same ending like 50 times. Because I couldn't figure out how to do delusion triggers. Okay, F2 is backlog. Escape. Nope, they're not up there. I missed them. There was a lot of comments there. Otani's face took on a confused expression. The comments were strange. He thought there might be something on the camera, but he turned around and saw only his fake poor room. My fake poor room. He spoke into the camera, but the comments still didn't make any sense, and they were coming in faster. Maybe there was a problem with the camera. He reached his right hand out toward it. Oh! In an instant, his headache was back. It was the same pain as before. No, worse. He closed his eyes and jerked forward, banging his head against the desk. The pain in his head was so bad that he didn't even feel it. He tried to hold his head in his hands, but for some reason, his right hand wouldn't move. So instead, he pushed his other hand up against his temple. It felt squishy. The vein was incredibly swollen and it felt like rubber. And each time he felt his blood pulse through it, there was an unpleasant sensation in his fingers. He stamped his feet against the floor, hoping to find some small escape from the pain. But it didn't even get slightly better. It was then that he realized he was crying. He could feel the tears coming from his eyes. The pain was moving there now, too. Unable to bear it, he opened his eyes. Okay, this is the moment when I cover my eyes. Oh, fuck. What's happening? Oh, what am I gonna see? Ah. People are saying it's fake. Yeah. He gasped. The whole scene appeared in front of him like some kind of awful magic trick. What are they saying? I can't see it. Murmur, murmur. Let's calm down, guys. Comments are going to... I thought you had some decency, but I guess it was wrong. Oh, well. This is so creepy. Strawberry... Nico Nia is full of weirdos. Oh! Did someone say daddy? This feels fake. Okay, I think it's... unsubscribe to this dude's channel. Okay. Blood is thicker? Okay. Okay, now they're, this is freaking me out. Someone called him a tryhard. Someone said this is disgusting. Someone did wrecked. Low wrecked, I see it. Okay. The whole... He suddenly heard the sound of something wet dripping onto the floor. His eyes reflexively turned toward it. His right arm was gone at the elbow, and the stump was gushing blood. There was a pool of it on the floor, and the sound he heard was the new blood splattering into it. Otani didn't understand what had happened to him. What was going on? He'd just gone to check on a knock at the door. The pain screamed within him. Any sense of pain in what remained of his right arm was overcome by the pain in his head. He felt nothing from his arm at all, though he saw the blood dripping to the floor. What the hell was going on? He blinked and forced his aching eyes to function as he looked around the room. I don't want to look. On top of his desk, he found the rest of his arm. Can I stop? It was sitting on a plate. At first, it looked like it was still in one piece, but it wasn't. Can we please stop? I don't want this anymore. I don't want it. It was neatly sliced into uniform pieces. Each piece was about a centimeter wide, and the slices moved neatly toward his fingers. They sat the tentacle. They sat upon the plate in roughly his arm's original shape. Fuck! I forgot that it was his entire arm. He cut off his entire arm in 15 minutes. 15. Fuck. Miraculously, he saw there was no blood on the tip of his index finger. So it wasn't pee-pee poo-poo. No. He still didn't understand that it was really his own arm. But sheer disgust at what he saw caused him to leap out of his chair. What was this? What kind of prank was this? The contents of his stomach flooded into his mouth. He vomited. The pink fluid splashed against the desk. Pink? He saw something solid in the middle of it. Yeah. Did we forget that he was also eating the cheese? That's his finger. It was a thumb, yep. It was covered in bite marks, saliva, and stomach acid, but horribly he remembered it. What? When had he put that into his mouth? In his pain-filled mind, he suddenly heard a sound he'd never heard before. Each time he heard the sound, the pain in his head got worse. He turned toward the camera, hoping for an answer to what was happening, but of course, there was none to be found. The screen was still filling with comments, but his eyes were too filled with tears for him to read them. What a shit. Low wrecked. Okay, these are the same comments. As the whole world turned red, Otani didn't even realize that his lips were turning purple. His lips had turned purple from lack of oxygen, but were stained red with blood from a severed thumb which he had chewed himself. As he tried to fight the pain, he began to fall unconscious and tears fell from his eyes. The tears seemed pink to him. Otani was weeping blood. He died, still facing the camera. His guests watched the chain of events unfold, then silently headed for the door. Just before they left the room. Goodbye. Goodbye! Goodbye! They said, as if nothing at all was wrong, and shut the door. Censorship! Censorship! I'm bored going back to the usual stream. I'm bored. You know it's bad when they had to censor with blood. Yeah, censor the blood with blood. Okay, it's time for the next part. I forgot how bad this section was. When I was playing it alone, I had to take breaks. September 19th, 2015, Friday night. Ah, nice Friday night. Jose, it's a woman. Takayanagi Momone. That's a fun name. Takayanagi Momone had finished her concert. Like always, she stayed behind to help put away the instruments. She even helped clean up the audience seats, even though that was the concert hall's job. Only after all of that was done could she take a break. There wasn't much time left before her solo street concert, but she still had to help anyway. She'd always been like that. Go straight. Absolutely not. Some nice graffiti. Piss. Rock. Oh, look at this sad face. It's cute. Oh, this one's smoking. Even if it wasn't her responsibility, she couldn't help but get involved. It was like in middle school, when one of her friends who wasn't as good at studying asked her for test notes. It's amazing how many hoodlums in Japan know English. I know, right? Especially piss. Or in high school, when a girl she knew asked her how to make Valentine's chocolate for a boy she really liked. She stayed up so many nights that her own test grades were worse than her friends, and she didn't have anyone to give chocolate to on Valentine's Day. Aww, just give it to your friends. In the end, it was the other person's responsibility, not hers, but... all expensive. I don't recognize some of these characters. That's mind, heart. That's shoot. Town. This one. You know I'm just doing this to procrastinate. Okay. Takayanagi Momone was, at heart, scared of not doing everything she could, even if everything wasn't her responsibility. The concert today was another big success. Sure, it was a tiny room that could only fit in 150 people or so, standing room only, but tickets were 3,000 yen, high for a band with an amateur vocalist like her, and they still sold out instantly. It was bizarre how excited the crowd was. She'd heard sobs during the ballad, and during one of the high-tempo songs, the audience had stood up all the way to the back row. She felt a chill and hugged herself tightly. It's not that her band wasn't popular. They started out in the Nikonia Sang It category and had kept going by doing covers of popular anime songs. It helped that her face, which had earned her the nickname Scarecrow in school, could look really good when she wore makeup. Which people called her Scarecrow? That's so mean. Why? Kids can be so mean. What a ridiculous nickname. You would have taken that as a compliment? Good on you. And if all of them put on ridiculous costumes and acted like idiots, some people would enjoy that. Videos of their concerts and performances pulled a decent number of views online. Okay, let me... Just checking my phone. But Takayanagi noticed. No. Yeen. Ska. The vast majority of the people looking at the videos were people who'd come to her concert. People who'd experienced that insane intensity were going back to the videos to try and feel it again. And Takayanagi knew that they probably wouldn't feel even 1% of it. It's actually the abbreviation for number. Thought. If you squint your eyes. Love. Loveki. Ticket prices and audience sizes were one thing, but the strangest thing to her was their eyes. Their eyes pierced right through her, unblinking. They were like pets, totally dependent on their master. The meaning of the lyrics began to take over their lives, and they never even questioned it. Ah, looks like she has a superpower too. When she first realized that this was happening, she tried to quit the band. Even if she couldn't, she at least wanted to stop doing the live shows where people heard her directly. But the others around her wouldn't let that happen. "Your voice is amazing," they would tell her. They forced her to keep singing, even as the concerts began to terrify her. Takayanagi tried to get out of it, but in the end, she kept giving in. She owed her fellow band members for getting a plain, dull girl like her into music. And for a while, part of her managed to have fun. But in the end, Takayanagi lacked the tiny bit of courage needed to break out of the cycle. She forced herself to get up and head toward the street concert, which she didn't really want to do. She'd received an email. She read it slowly. She almost dropped her smartphone. She read it again and again, trying to control her shaking hands. Is it moving? Is the screen moving? Is that just me? Might just be me. It was nothing special, just a simple message about one of the songs she had made. What is it? Good song. Keep it up. Just me? Oh no! Takayanagi tried to stop the tears, but couldn't. The band would get too many messages like this to count, especially after her concerts. She knew it was rude, but to be honest, she was sick of them. But this email address wasn't for her band. It was one for a site where she had anonymously uploaded original songs. In other words, whoever sent this message hadn't come to her concerts. They never even heard her voice live or felt his strange power. But they had still said they liked her song. Wiping away tears that wouldn't stop, she quickly wrote a response. "That makes me really happy. Thank you." Even after she sent it, she kept crying for a while. She hadn't cried this much since the earthquake. And then she stood up. She took her costumes for the day's concert out of her bag, balled them up, and threw them in the trash. It was a white caped outfit, worn by some angel character in some anime. Certain fans really loved it, but she didn't really care about it at all. She took a wet towel off the nearby table and violently wiped away her makeup. She was never wearing another cape or putting on makeup to look like an anime character again. "Never!" she said aloud. She realized she was more excited than she'd ever been before. And then she started to realize what she wanted to do. What would happen if she said she was going to quit the band? It caused trouble for a lot of people, definitely. Her band was scheduled to play in the Restoration Festival. But even so... Restoration Festival? Probably celebrating the anniversary of Shibuya's restoration efforts after the earthquake in 2010. It's been 5 years, so that seems appropriate for an anniversary. She never wanted to sing at another concert. She laughed and kissed her smartphone. She couldn't wait to get home and start fiddling with her music. Over the web, she could really share her music with others. As long as they weren't hearing her voice live, it would be fine. If she just played a recording from a speaker, for example. That's right. She'd leave Shibuya, and when she had a few more songs, she could record them and play them at street concerts. That speaker was small enough that she could fit it under her clothes to fool people. It'd be rude to do the same song every time, so each time she'd re-record it at home. It's the knocking! It's back. There was a knock at the door. One of the staffers, maybe? I don't like this go straight propaganda. She smiled and answered them. Now that she'd thrown away her clothes, her bag was lighter than she'd ever imagined it could be. That lightness made her think about the future. She was happy. It's an anti-drunk driving poster. Always go straight. Drive straight.
Hi.
Takayanagi happily danced toward the door, completely ignorant of what was on the other side. Completely ignorant. That's not good. That's not good at all. What happened to her? What happened to her? September 19th, 2015, Friday night. What's that? What is that? Is that her? Walking? Or is she dragging something? Shortly after she finished, she was walking through Shibuya. She had a limp and dragged one leg behind her as if it was injured. Oh, so that was her walking. Her bangs were unnaturally long. Most of her face was covered by them. She wore a dark-colored dress that seemed to melt into the night, and above it, a bright red cardigan. Her chest, arms, and legs were almost completely covered. Despite the fact that the night was still warm, she wore gloves, as if it were a sin to show any skin at all. Oh! She ran into a couple coming out of a hotel and staggered slightly. But she didn't even look at the people she ran into. She looked down and disappeared into the streets of Shibuya. Chapter 1, Digital Native. The Right-Sider chases the cases. Right-Sider is Japanese slang. Miyashiro Takuru. Let's see. What is this? Is this stone? It might be stone. Let's say that, for example, you asked a kid in middle school, do you know what Schrodinger's cat is? Most would say yes, or I've heard of it. We'll start by eliminating the Dokyuns who say they've never heard of it. Okay, Dokyun, Japanese slang. What does it mean again? That's wrong. Tips is F4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pronounced Dokyun. Used to refer to people who are stupid, antisocial, or delinquent. Okay. It's like the Japanese equivalent for normie, except it's worse. Next you ask, well, what was it? Next, we eliminate those poor fools who say, it's something about a cat in a box, right? Or, there's this cat, but you don't know if it's alive or dead, right? Or maybe they say, there's a cat in a box, and next to it there's a device that may or may not give off poison gas. You don't know if the cat's alive or dead till you open the box. Everybody does that. Ad starts in 30 seconds. I'll pause for the ad break because it's a visual novel. We can eliminate these show-offs as well. Anybody from these groups is a wrong-sider. Someone on the wrong side of the digital or information divide. Who can't properly use the information they do have or are simply ignorant. Or using information that is considered outdated. Okay. Is the ad playing? I don't see it, so. The right answer would be to describe the experiment and then say, it was a thought experiment proposed by Schrödinger to criticize the quantum mechanical theory that state collapse only occurs after human observation. But barely anyone can do that. And I'd imagine that I'm the only one who's still in high school who knows that Schrödinger got the idea after exchanging letters with Einstein. He's such a smart ass. Oh my god. Like, shut up. This dude's a reply guy for real. Actually? I hate wrong-siders. I'd taken a break from investigating the 2 incidents that occurred recently in Shibuya and was paging through some ad channel blog aggregators for a change of pace. Get off of 4chan! It's 2015, so a lot of people are on 4chan. Oh, ad break. Well, let me drink some water. I wonder if they still use 4chan in the sequel. Hopefully not. Okay. As always, articles about bad idols and corporations with terrible work environments were getting tons of hits. It was hard to believe that the crash of 15, a huge news story that had just happened this month, was already off the front pages. Crash of 15. F4. Fictional. In September 2015, the solar storms! Oh. Okay, in this incident, a large hole opened in the Earth's geomagnetic field, leaving Earth defenseless against an incoming solar flare. Okay, Chaos Child takes place after Robotics Notes Elite. This, the stuff about the solar flares was very, important in Robotics Notes. You don't need to know about this. It's just, you know, just connect the events in chronological order for the people who've played the previous entry. The massive damage to the world's infrastructure and the panic that resulted from it in some areas, particularly in North America, became known as the Crash of 15. Yep. Did the people reading and commenting on these sites realize that everything they read about corporations and idols was carefully controlled? Did they know that most of the big aggregator sites are corporations too? Did they realize that the comments were all manipulated to go one direction or another? Kids our age were living in a world where all the information you could ever want was right at your fingertips. To those of us in the Satori generation, ignorance was the worst sin. A phrase first used on the internet in Japan in the 2010s, often used to refer to people born in the 1990s. Members of the generation are said to not want things they don't need, act far more logically, and avoid putting forth any unnecessary effort. Hence the descriptor Satori, enlightened. Only one cause of this is believed to be that the internet was widely available at the time they were old enough to use it, which exposed them to information about society and the reality of the world at a far earlier point and a far more intricate level than any generations before them. Ah. This is Gen Z and millennials combined in Japan. The ignorant was self-righteous, easily manipulated, and eager to push their paper-thin worldview onto others. They were nothing but a nuisance. The worst of the lot were the so-called otaku. I couldn't stand otaku. They were wrong-siders. Like, I would totally not have this Bloodtoon magazine. Take the picture on the cover of this magazine. It was from Bloodtoon. Oh, let me look at the entire thing. Okay. Oh, this is from Steins Gate. This is a character from a fictional anime in the Steins Gate visual novel. Gunbaro is a Gundam type anime. Fictional one in Robotics Notes. Bloodtoon was in Chaos Head, so it was the very first entry in this let me look at these. Okay, these are a bunch of anime references. I love this part. Okay. Finally, graffiti of beautiful 2D girls. Bloodtoon. Strike Wizards. Ganbareru. Yeah. It's such a silly pun. Exclusive pinup art. Okay, let's look at this. Bursting with beautiful girls. Hyper period Neptunia. Mangandanpa. Mangadanpa! Kansen collection. What's wrong with being Chunibyo? Samurai Lord Online. A certain scientific space gun. Tudlaru Darkness. That's really good. Girls on Pantsu. That's next. Kono Monogatari. Koi and more. Magical Girl Misadventures. Commemorative A4 illustrations for the second movie. Don't miss the latest news. Coming soon to theaters. Magical Academy Honoka. New contract of the paradoxical world. My little sister is a hero from another world. Ah, an isekai. These are really fun. The ones over here, I love them. Especially a certain scientific space gun. Beautiful. Okay. Let's move on. Any otaku who just watched it for the cute characters was a loser. There was no point in watching the show if you were going to ignore its deeper themes. I watched this for the plot. This? Only for the plot. I couldn't stand people who still held to the old-fashioned idea that only otaku watched anime, but people who ignored the show's themes and just watched it for the cuteness were even worse. They were ignoring the implicit social criticism hidden in. I stared at the magazine in amazement. Specifically, I stared at the box that listed the next episode previews. The texted heading was missing. Okay, they're gonna tell me about the plot to this fictional. Yep. Her full name was Erin Frey Orgel. Erin speaks in a haughty, archaic manner and consistently looks down at others. She is the younger sister of Seda Orgel, the main heroine of Bloodtoon and the princess of Star. She has a deadly magical staff known as Ochimusha Compiler, and her catchphrase is Nitwit! What a catchphrase! There are only 26 episodes in Bloodtoon. You would think that it would have more, the way that they're obsessed with it. It only has 26 episodes. It was in 2010 too. Ah. There's gonna be more episodes? Okay. Damn it! I let my guard down because I knew this episode was written by the guy who wrote the original manga. Ah, he's... Ah. How could you remove Erin from the story halfway through? Not keeping her around meant bringing all the internal drama that had been built up so far to a halt. God damn it! So much for my change of pace. I knew I had work to do on the case, but I put it away because I couldn't find any link between the two crimes. He's one of those internet sleuths. He's like constantly on the Reddit forums trying to for true crime, trying to figure out who done what. You know, he's in those Facebook groups too. I thought for a moment, then took my magazine from its secret stash. We surveyed 1,000 women in Tokyo, and their answers will shock you. Our biggest special ever! What the fuck does this say? Wanna get her riled up? Try the Ultimate CCP Lovemaking Handbook? CCP? I wonder what that's short for. 1,000 magic words to make any girl fall in love with you. A comprehensive study of the guys girls dig. Tips for surviving fall. Every tip accessory. Watches, shoes, bags, new catalog listings. Credence Clearwater Previval? Is that on here? Must see. What clothes to buy secondhand based on current trends? Cool Cat Press. Not Cool Cat. We're gonna get sued. Just kidding. It's a take on the name of famous band. Ah, okay. What weekend plans? You've got to try a barbecue. Every trendy outdoor item you need. One awesome car? Find out what cars everyone digs. Yo, y'all dig cars? Find the cars on trend today. Like, what the fuck? I'm just getting my, my money from Tsum Tsum. My gold coins. Every ad break. People called it a dating guide for normies written by someone who never dated a girl in his life, but you'd be surprised. I mean, you can find out every trendy outdoor item you need and also want an awesome car? Stupid. I knew it was stupid. But when I ran an internet search for their #1 phrase, nothing came up. And that was the thing. The fact that it didn't show up in the internet meant, to me, that it was worth something. Really? Why? I just realized. It looked... To me, it looked like the toothbrush was coming out of the faucet instead of this cup. You know what else doesn't show up when you search for it? What? Yeah, just gibberish. Doesn't show up. You know what? This is a pretty sweet pad, you know? It might be inside of a... What's it called? Not an SUV. An RV, thank you. Recreational vehicle. Look, you doesn't have a... I like this whiteboard. I do like whiteboards. That's nasty. Don't say that. There's a reason no one is saying that. It's because it's fucking weird. Don't do this. Schoolgirl. Shoujo gakse. Sit. It didn't say that. It said something else. Say something. When did she get in? God, look how HD this shit is. Look at these graphics. Damn, look at her. She's blinking at me and everything. We're competing. Blink, blink, blink. I turned to yell at the voice. But where's the eye glimmer? She don't got it. Don't worry. You just had to do some shit, okay? And then you can get the eye bubbles and shit, the eye glimmers, to make them like bounce around. Oh no! I hid my favorite magazine behind my. Now it's his favorite magazine. Favorite. That piece of shit is his favorite magazine. And try to calm my racing heart. Even if we've known each other since we were kids, don't just come in without permission. Yeah, completely basic. 100%. Are the messages not popping up? Hold up. They haven't been? Oh my god. Hold up. I just realized. Let me fix this. It's because I just put the image there instead of the overlay. It should be game live, yes. Let me just get the link. I've got it. How big is it? I don't know how big this shit is. That's too small. I need the probably 1920, right? Yes. Like 1000. Oh, what? Where the hell is it? What? What happened? I made it too tiny? Oh, I made the height 100 instead of 1000. The hell? Why is it so small? Oh my god. What the hell is happening? I'll just, I don't even think Twitch chat is popping up, is it? I see it, but I don't see it on the overlay. Well, whoops. I wonder why it's so tiny. This is so silly of me. Oh. It should be 1920 by 7 something. Nope. That's weird. Okay, there. Now it's getting there. Okay, it's a little fucked up. That's okay. It's not oh, there it goes. Thank you. It's because man, the chat wasn't showing up for the Cuphead stream either, was it? That's so funny. Okay, let's continue. Now that I fixed this situation, shoot. Okay, this should be good enough. Let's go back to the game. Your source resolution is 1280 by 720, I think. Yes. It should be. But for some reason, this image was a lot bigger. It's at 1920 by 1200. I couldn't let her find out about my special favorite magazine. This was bad. Yabai. Yabe. Serika frowned. Huh, that's right. What? Where's her voice from? What voice actress is this? She sounds so familiar. Is she the voice actress for Seda from from Chaos Head? Nah. Oh, ad break. She was taking photos from the crime scene. That's nasty. Don't do that. Okay. Let's continue. Real, 16 gigabytes. My flash drive, 32. Double. Samesies! It's really good having flash drives with that much storage. Love that. Serika looked a little confused. Interesting. This kanji's out of this world. I cannot read it at all. Except for this one. This is very clear, and this is very clear too. This has world in it. Is that up? Huh. It's just because he doesn't want you looking at a special magazine. She didn't seem to think much of it as she started to copy the data off. Okay, now's my chance. The RV was cramped, but there was a lot of space for storage. I pretended to make tea as I tried to find room in the top shelf. Okay. There's just enough room for one more magazine. Over here? Maybe over here. I mean, there's a ton of space here, though. Like, what do you mean you're trying to make room? I mean, there's enough room. I mean, it looks like there's all the room. And then I heard a psh, 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 sound like a small fart from behind me. A small fart. I glanced back and saw that Serika was using the mouse with her one hand and fiddling with her Ghetto Froggy Ghetto Strat with the other. Ah, the Ghetto Froggies are still around, huh? That's not good. This was my chance. Look how ugly this shit is. Look at them. The Ghetto Froggy Ghetto Strat was a soft vinyl cell phone strap I'd won in a candy contest when I was a kid. When you pushed its belly, it was supposed to go, Ghetto, Ghetto. It turned out to be an incredibly rare prize that could fetch 100,000 yen at an auction. But since I was a kid who didn't know any better, I gave it to Serika as a present. As a present. Serika seemed to really like it. She'd carried it with her ever since. Which, well, that was fine, but... It was old and faded, and when you pressed its belly, air leaked out of its sides and made a weird noise. It used to go ghetto, I think, but now it just made a strange whooshing sound. Ever since she was a kid, she had a habit of fiddling with it, especially when she was nervous or focused on something. In other words, she was focused on the computer. Now's my chance to hide it. I jammed the magazine onto the shelf and moved some things so she couldn't see it. That's the door, right? Where is he putting it? A mountain view? I would love a mountain view right now. Can I have some too? Well, let's look at these pretty photos that she took of the crime scenes. Let's look at his computer. Okay. So it's his computer, recycle bin, internet escape. Love to escape the internet by going to my internet browser. Hachibase. What does that say? Say art action, maybe? Photo store elements. Shibuya incident invest shortcuts, recovered files, movies, graphics. Dig P. Bookmarks. Downloads, desktop, recent places. Windows 7 Aero? Yes. Oh, he has 3 hard drives, maybe? That's super good for a high school student. And then you have the flash drive. I'm jealous. Ah, look at these retro vibes. Retro. The D was a CD DVD drive, I bet. Ah, yes. I shook my head, frustrated. Buchitsu. I have such a hard time with that and some other Bushitsu. I always get that confused with something else when I'm reading it. Just as she was about to leave, I got an idea. I needed to double check my information. She was, in theory, a girl. Okay, we're coming up against the negative versus positive delusion. I believe for the first playthrough, it doesn't matter what you choose. So, what do y'all want? Let's do a short poll. We can do which delusion? We'll just redo this multiple times. Positive, negative, neutral. Okay, poll will be up for 3 minutes. Come on, choose what we want to do.
ああ、なんていうか、お前が告白されたとしてさ。いや、だから例えばこう言われたらどう？誠に勝手なのですが、好きになってもいいですかって。
さっき言ってたやつ？
それはいいから。どう？
Okay, I see neutral so far. Come on, you can use additional honk shoes to sway the vote in your favor.
年下なの？その人。
Oh! We doing neutral? I gotta know. You see the positive and negative. Okay, I see 2 for neutral. I see 1 for negative. Someone wants to see what negative is. It's just 10 honk shoes for each additional vote. So if you really want negative, put on some more honk shoes. You only need like 3 to make a majority negative. So just 1 negative, 2 neutral. I voted for positive. So it is 50-50 positive, negative, but 2 for neutral. Will it change? No? Okay. It's looking like it's gonna be neutral. Okay, when the ad break ends, that'll be the end for the poll. 2 for neutral. Let me get my gold coins from Tsum Tsum. Okay. It's looking like neutral just won. Thank you, Myth. Chaotic neutral. Okay. We get neutral by just going through the text. Oh! Hi! Hello, Raiders. Hello, Silver D Fang. How are you doing? I'm Melody Wisp, and I'm a transcriptionist and proofreader. And I'm multiply neurodivergent and disabled, queer. I use they, them pronouns. Arrow, ace, intersex, agender. All of those identities, and I'm also Puerto Rican. And I'm playing Chaos Child, which is in the Steins Gate universe, and you do not need to have played Steins Gate or watched it in order to play this game. It's standalone. And right now we just encountered our first decision. Chat voted for neutral, so we're just going to read through the text as usual, not pick any choices. We don't have a raid message, but something piratey. Arrgh! That's true, come to think of it. Why was it so polite anyway? Help me figure out a raid message. Arrgh! We be coming for those streams. Yeah, I saw. I'll help anyway. Okay. Now, for the positive versus negative delusions, it is 50-50 whether the negative is going to be terrible and make you really upset to have clicked it. Same for positive. But it's always fun to go through all the choices anyway. That's what I did.
年下なのかな。いや、そうじゃなくて、どう？
どうって丁寧だなって思うけど、告白されたことないからよくわかんない。
他には何か思わないか？こう、素敵だなと思ったりしないか？
別に相手によるんじゃない？
Grr. What's going on here, cool cat? It would depend on the person asking the question. Of course it would.
そうだ、忘れてた。
Howling at booty. Harg. It's a work in progress. Sedika stretched out her hand.
500円ちょうだい。
え？
これ忘れてた。
She showed me the paper bag she was holding.
さっきそこでゲンさんに会ったの。特にいつものだって言って渡してくれって。特価で500円でいいって立て替えたの。
I don't remember who Gen is. Who is that? Confused, I took the bag from her. Gen-san's usual changed every time I talked to him, so I couldn't count on it. What was it today? Oh! That drunk old bastard!
何？いつものって。
He got him more of those embarrassing magazines.
なんでもない。ほら、500円。
I forced 500 yen into her hands. Ignoring her persistent questions, I led her to the door.
明日、学校で。データはありがとう。助かった。
わかったよ。
Reluctantly, she left my room. Damn it. Sure, this was what I always bought from Gen-san. But the information in the last one was no good. What the heck was a cool cat anyway? A cold cat? Is it cold because it's dead? It's dead because its pickup lines are so bad. 100 ways to secretly show your sexy side. I needed to hide this too. But I had so many of them now, I was running out of room on the top shelf. Why are you taking advice from women's magazines? They're not good. Those aren't good for women either. Oh no. When I tried to force it in, a mountain of old papers came falling out. Damn it, no room, huh? What's this? It was an old scrapbook about the murders that occurred 6 years ago in Shibuya. I just realized that moon and booty are both euphemisms for asses. Harg! We be howling at the booty! Under a full moon. Harg! I'd bought it from Gen-san too, come to think of it. We take all the booty. Ooh-woo? I'd already scanned it, but I'd forgotten to throw out the original. How could I, of all people, be so lax with information? I just have to bundle it up with the rest of my collection. My eyes lingered for a second on the page. Come to think of it... I quickly ran over to my PC. I opened the files in the case that I had been looking for. My words were a whisper. I looked back at the scrapbook, then compared it to the data on the PC. There was no doubt. I kept looking at it, and it kept saying the same thing. But this... If my hypothesis was right... Y'all ready to look at 4chan? What the fuck's PC is this? We got some iTunes. Rhine. New generation. Okay, whose desktop is this? For manager, after action, Photo store element. Where's LimeWire and Napster? But also treasure, so it's the best kind of double, triple, quadruple entendre. Yes. I don't see LimeWire or Napster. Maybe it's underneath the Internet Escape browser. Okay? I got sick, so I'm watching VTubers now. Hello, Flower Heart. I hope you feel better soon. That sucks. A little bit of Share Bear for those OG pirates. Ah. Okay, time to look at 4chan at the news bulletin. Strange sumo stickers increasing in Shibuya. Finance milk girl reproduction prohibited. What the fuck? What the fuck is this? Off-go at taboo.co.jp. Taboo instead of Yahoo. I was skeptical of the chaos part of this game, but 4chan cleared that right up. Yes. You did miss a very chaotic beginning. Lately, stickers with the face of a sumo wrestler on them have been appearing around Shibuya. Commonly known as sumo stickers, nobody knows who's putting them up or why. Everything about them is shrouded in mystery. You started seeing them on signs and guardrails all over Shibuya 5 or 6 years ago. There are a lot of other stickers put up by graffiti artists, but Shibuya in particular has a huge number of these sumo stickers. Some have speculated that they're a message from a terrorist group or perhaps a cult. But as of now, that's nothing more than a hypothesis. When asked about the stickers, a 41-year-old man who worked at Jinan Shibuya hair salon said, "They're creepy. I wish whoever it was would stop destroying the Shibuya landscape." Sometimes residents will take them down only to see them reappear later. Shibuya City Hall says, quote, "We are continuing our community outreach efforts to help stop these stickers from being put up. But also, there are no plans to use city funds to remove the stickers." Oh, so you're not planning on, you just want people to volunteer? That's so shitty. Put some money in it. Police have said that placing these stickers on a public property is a misdemeanor, but that it's extremely difficult to prosecute without catching someone in the act of doing so. They have no current plans for dealing with the stickers either. The citizens of Shibuya are going to be stuck with these stickers for a while, it seems. Okay, this is at 1:51 p.m. on Monday. I said this during the ad break, but it is really shitty that they're just asking for people to volunteer instead of paying anyone to remove the stickers. And thank you, Bear! 97,000! We're so close. Anonymous says, "After I first saw one 2 years ago, I've just been seeing them everywhere. It feels like there are even more lately. Saw another one today." Got some more? These two. This the same person? ID? No, these are different people. Okay. Oh! Oh! Hello, writers! Hi, Pochi! How are you doing? I'm Melody Wisp. I'm a transcriptionist, proofreader, closed captioner. And I'm neuroqueer, non-binary, I use they, them pronouns. I'm intersex, agender, aromantic, asexual. I'm forgetting everything. Puerto Rican, etc., etc. I'm part of the Virtual Creators Union. And currently I'm playing Chaos Child, which is a visual novel in the Steins Gate universe. But you don't have to have played or watched or interacted with Steins Gate at all to watch the stream or play the game. It's standalone. And right now, I have no clue who we're playing as right now, but we are looking at 4chan. There are a bunch of mysterious things happening in Shibuya right now in 2015. And right now we're learning that there are a bunch of these weird sumo stickers that have been put up around Shibuya. No one knows who's putting them up, but tons of them keep reappearing. You have so much. Damn. Yeah. Oh, popcorn. Delicious. What is nerdcore? probably a TikTok thing, right? A lot of those, like, dash core things are, like, TikTok aesthetics. Probably. I'm not a TikTok user. I just upload stuff on there. There's so many of these. Look, this too. I thought that was what you said in your bio speech. Did I say nerdcore? Sorry, I must have ran through it way too fast and it blurred. Did I say nerd? Neuroqueer! I said neuroqueer. It's an identity where you believe that your queerness and your neurology intersect. So for me, it started early childhood, not fitting into gender roles as an ADHD kid, with tons of other already significant problems, developmental issues and stuff. So that's how those things intersect with me, especially being intersex. Okay. So that's what it is. God, there's so many of these. Took this a few years back, so it's been going on for a couple years now. Here's some more pics. I always feel sick when I see that face. I once threw up when I saw one of the stickers. Shit sucks. Whoever puts them up needs to... I don't know what this means. What is this acronym? I've never seen this before. Fuck off and die, maybe? Fuck off and die, probably. I heard if you scribble on top of one of the sumo wrestler curses you. Anyone else notice that it's almost impossible to get the damn things off? Saw my first one today. Stop upping these things, Anon. There's a shit ton of them if you image search. Oh yeah, this is the Google equivalent. Delude. I actually saw one of those stickers talking once. It was yelling, Doskoi! Sauce. Excuse me, sauce? Time for your meds, Grandpa. Don't say that shit. Fuck off, Anon. Somebody make a Delude map that lists all their locations. Oh, somebody make. You'll be at it for years. Probably. Oh, don't like that. Just gonna censor that. So if you go to Shiba, you get stared at by sumo wrestlers, right? I don't understand the sluts that go to Shibuya to enjoy that. What are you talking about? Don't make a fan fiction. I'm just gonna do this. Gonna cover that up there. This is how channers talk, so. They should just put up a bunch of cute anime girl stickers instead, like Hanona or Seiratan. Then all the otaku dorks would move from Akihabara to Shibuya. I vote for Kamiya Hangetsu. Kameyama Hangetsu? I feel pressure coming from Ryu Goku. This is my prophecy unto you. Someday we'll see a sumo judge sticker. Those references going over my head. 力士シールはごく一部で話題になっているくらいのものでしかなかった。一体誰が予想できる？こんな気味の悪いシールが後に世界を揺るがす大事件のきっかけになるだなんてこと。Wait, is this his desktop? It's really cute if it is. で、これが今月の7日に起きた事件の週刊誌の特集の画像。No, but we just saw his desktop and it didn't look anything like that. Scratch that. It was someone else's desktop. Okay, the incident occurred on the 7th. 7日ってと、ニコニア生放送中の公開自殺か。読んだよ、その記事。Oh, thank you, Rosethorn Ranger, for contributing. We're at 98,000 now. I'll have to make that Discord server soon. I've been procrastinating on it. Also, this dude's hair, really flat. It looks really funny. I don't know why. There's just something about it. It's just like... It's so smooth. Oh, the 7th was the suicide. ネットではこっちみんなって言い方が主流になってきてる。で、 The don't look case. Makes sense. I wouldn't want to look either. Like, don't look at that. Here's the video of the broadcast. You're just showing that on your phone? Why are you both looking at it again? That's nasty. I have one and I feel self-conscious about it that I don't promote it yet. Oh, the Discord server? It completely flew out of my head. Yeah, I could see. Because so many people have so many Discord servers for the communities. I'm in so many now. And it just makes it feel like you're just asking people to join yet another one too. I just made it a challenge because I didn't want to make one and then have no one in it. At least now it's like hyped up. So people actually feel like joining. Yeah, I wanted to be special. Though I'm not sure how special it's going to be because I'm not good at managing stuff. Okay, so Serika was going around taking photos of the crime scenes. Someone in Fish Girl's chat this morning was talking about how to troll joined her Discord server within 5 minutes of it going live. Oh, that sucks. Shout out to Fish Girl. Oh, I forgot to shout out the people rating me. Hold up. Let me fix this. Not Fish Girls, but the other person in her chat. Oh. That sucks. Gonna get those shout outs in a second. Cause I forgot. Why are you so close? Back up! Back up! Stop being so close with you and your smooth hair. Whew. Something about this is off-putting. It kind of looks like a upside down tulip. Bellflower. It just looks weird. Okay, we got another shout out. Silver D thing. Oh, I had to wait a minute before giving another shout out. Okay. Looks like a helmet from Star Wars. Yeah, it does look like helmet hair. Aww. Cute emotes. I'll give you the shout out in a minute. I always forget to do them. I need to just put like a reminder in the chat for myself when I get rated. It's helmet hair for real? Okay. Until then, Ito had been disinterestedly pointing his camera at the colorful decorations in the hallway, but this got his attention. Should be good now. Oh, come on! 13 seconds. Of course it did. No one else had seen these pictures yet. Now it should work. You can see the room from the 5th floor of the karaoke place on the other side of the street. There! Shout out! Phone droid. Ah, they still have phone droids. The technology in this universe is like 10 or 20 years. Better? Twitch is useless. How do you set up a raid message? You should be able to make it in the with something like Stream Elements' chatbot, Nightbot, one of those. There's also another new one like called StreamerBot or something. You just have it set up so that when a raid happens, it'll output a message And that's how most people do it. This is nasty. Why do you keep looking at this? You can really feel that they dehumanize this person. Like, they don't even flinch looking at a photo of their dead body. It's just like casual. It's just like in his phone's photo album. Just like a photo of food. Weird. You could always count on him to be interested when it came to new information. I must sleep now so that I can play at being a cowboy again tomorrow morning. Okay, have a good rest. And thank you for coming. And ooh, what else? What else? Hope your mom is still recovering smoothly. Bye-bye. Oh, we have an hour left, so. Huh? Look at this weird smile. Can I do a weird smile too? I think I made it less sensitive to smiles.
Yeah. カラオケボックスに人から仕方ないだろ別に恥ずかしいことじゃないそれに歌ったわけじゃないから正確には人からとは言わない
That's so funny. Oh, I didn't even sing, so it wasn't like technically karaoke. To be honest, I was a little embarrassed. The guy at the counter, who was probably just a part-timer, had stared at me suspiciously. Maybe I attracted his attention by coming in during the middle of the day in my uniform. And since I'd never been there before, he made me fill out membership paperwork. I didn't know how to do it, so it took a long time. And actually, I'd never been to a karaoke place before in my life. Ito Shinji. Mendokusai. You know, it does, mendokusai. It does have the kanji you might be thinking it has in it, which is stinky. P.U. Stinky. Poo-poo. We went over to the gym from the second floor hallway. It was filled with students laughing over who knows what. The whole school was getting ready for the culture festival next week. This year's festival was supposed to be a big one. Heikiko Academy was the first private high school built as part of the restoration efforts, and so it was attracting a lot of attention. Oh yeah, for people who just tuned in, the setting for the game is in Shibuya, 2015. In 2010 in the game, chronologically, there was a huge earthquake, very suspicious one, that was centered in Shibuya, and it killed thousands of people and injured many, many more. It was terrible. So Shibuya's been having to restore itself for the past 5 years. That's why they're talking about restoration efforts. What was I gonna do? Oh yeah, I was gonna look at this. A private academy in Udagawacho, Shibuya. It was made... okay. Restoration project in November 2009 Shibuya earthquake. Okay. A magazine for young men. Oh, it's for young men. I thought it was for women. Advertises a dating manual. Okay. Okay, we're gonna come up on another choice, I think, soon. Non-specific routes. Okay, the 100% spoiler-free guide doesn't reveal anything. It just says select any delusions. So, that's guaranteed. It's never for women. Yeah. I just assumed that it was being marketed toward women. But, pardon my mistake, game. One reason why everyone was so excited for the school fair was the school's lax rules with lots of clubs and activities. But the biggest reason was the Shibuya Peace and Restoration Festival 2 months from now. 2 months from now, on November 6th, would mark 6 years since the Shibuya earthquake. The 5-year anniversary fair last year had affected the whole town. And since the school was in Shibuya too, it would include us. We were just a simple high school, but now our culture festival was being treated as a prelude to the big one, and supposedly there would be TV cameras filming the day of the event. I don't know when the next illusion is gonna come up. The next choice to make. But when it comes up, I'll pause and I'll give 1 minute for everyone to submit their choices for which delusion we should pick. Even Ultimate Games, dialogue for dudes only. True. Copyrighted costumes. The part of Japan that really sucks is how Nintendo has fucked with the copyright laws. You can't even wear copyrighted costumes in public. That's ridiculous. You can get in trouble for that. Ito turned his camera toward a group of people pretending to be pro wrestlers. Ito and I were in the newspaper club, and it was our job to record the festivities. The principal had ordered that all clubs were to participate in the culture festival, and recording the festivities was our way of getting by without having to do much work. Recording videos and taking photos was my hobby, and more than anything, it seemed like the way that would demand I burned the fewest calories. Me too. I'm always looking for the thing that burns the least calories possible. I couldn't see myself participating in any of the usual festival nonsense, like the baseball team's fried baseball ice cream stand, which was probably just regular fried ice cream in a ball. Or the Pro Wrestling Research Club's mascot pro wrestling, or even the seance that the Mystery Club and Fortune Telling Club were putting on together. These are some pretty fun sounding clubs, to be honest. The Mystery Club? What the fuck do they do in the Mystery Club? Kudaranai. Call them normies. Go die in a fire. He's really like, what? You're a normie? But you're totally a weirdo. He dropped it. That thing's expensive. Oh my god, they're really such losers right now. I slipped out of Ito's grasp and picked up the camera. Looks like it's safe. Good. Hentax! I relaxed and handed the camera back to Ito. Oh yeah, it's because he's working off of this other definition for wrong-siders, where it's just people that are like ignorant. Instead of being like people who are like out of touch. いいか、リア充ってのは2005年あたりから使われ出した言葉で、リアル、つまり現実が充実している連中の総称だ。最初は対義語としてネト銃が挙げられることが多かったけど、その境目はもうほとんどない。リアルの中にネットが組み込まれてるのが当たり前になったからな。ああ。当初は友達がいるだけでリア充と呼ばれていたけど、次第に恋人がいることがリア充の条件になっていった。だがこれも変わりつつある。 We're getting a history lesson on the etymology of normie in Japan.
昨今のリア充は本当の意味で現実が充実しているかどうか、つまりやりたいことができているかどうかで判断されるんだ。そういう意味で僕はリア充だ。だから暇に任せてふざけているあいつらはリア充なんかじゃないんだよ。言葉は正しく使え。
You heard it here. Seriously, he needs to be careful. Just being a wrong-sider by itself is a sin these days. After I finished my lecture, I saw that Ito was staring at me wordlessly. He looks exhausted. What, did he not understand it? I'd walked him through the entire etymology.
宮代、
なんだよ。
お前はリア充じゃないよ。言葉は正しく使おうな。
Huh?
なぜだ。
リア充はそんなこと言わない。
I have to say, he's right.
は？だからなんでだ。それに補強するなら女子の知り合いもいるんだぞ。もちろん男も。
だからリア充はそんなこと言わないんだよ。
理由はなんだ。理由はさらに付け加えるならな。
I quickly swallowed my words.
ファッションの勉強だってした。
He almost said he was studying fashion. Come on, dude, let it out. Just let everyone know. There's no shame. I'd read that new issue of Cuphead before I put it away. There was an article in it called Utsunomiya's Fashion Leader. I thought it looked pretty good. Thought this shit looks pretty good. If I could wear that stuff, I'm sure. Look at it! Looking pretty good! Except, look at this awkward face. Oh. These glasses are also really good. Like, why is it so off? It's not even even, dude. Get better glasses. Okay. You can barely see with that shit on. Get these cool cat-eyed ones. I'm telling you, you can see the world.
Hmm?
なんでもない。とにかく僕はな。
ああ、わかったって。次行こうぜ。
The protagonist from the first game, he had this weird little laugh that I thought was hilarious. He would like he would laugh like that constantly. It was awful. The worst laugh imaginable. As he walked away, I turned my eyes toward the group of mascot pro wrestlers.
わかった。じゃあもう全員で同じ着ぐるみにしようぜ。
ああ、戦隊もの風だ。色分けしようよ。私イエロー。
私イエロー。
その方が受け取れるか。でも予算は？
あんたの小遣いがあるじゃん。
バカじゃないの？
それか、体に直接塗るか。受け取れればいいんでしょ
？Oh my god, we're looking at this shit again? I'm busy looking at this horrifically gory video.
おかえりなさいませ、ご主人様ケロン。
Get on? What?
可愛くなくね。もうちょっとどうにかなんね。
What are you guys doing? Like a frog maid cafe? What is that?
可愛くないとか言うな。てか、別にウェイトレスって女子限定じゃなくてもいいじゃん。男子もやんなよ。
Yeah, make it even.
ゲロカエルンってあんな語尾で喋るキャラクターだ。
So they are doing a frog maid cafe. That is such a weird idea. Ito had just finished recording the goings on in the classroom. Oh shit! Okay, we got a choice. We just came up on a choice. Let's do a little poll. Delusion. Which delusion do we choose? We have positive, negative, and neutral. Okay, poll will be up for... I think 2 minutes will be fine. Not too long. Okay. Poll is up. You can use additional honk shoes to push whichever choice you want. It's just 10 each. So, pick positive, negative, neutral on the poll. If you don't, I'll just choose whichever I want, which will be negative. Okay. We're just waiting. It's still just 1 for negative. If no one votes, it'll be negative. It won't change what ending we get for the first fruit. It'll just be fun. Okay, it's looking like it's just gonna be negative. Which I'm already regretting. Okay. I will wait for the ad break to end. Ad break is ending soon. Oh! Weird. It says on the stream manager that the ad break is still going on. But, okay. We are going... We're choosing negative. This was class 3-1. Ito's in my class. Most of the class was busy with the Ghetto Froggy Cafe we were doing for the festival. What a weird idea. Some people were ignoring the fuss and studying. Some of the otaku were reading night novels. Did they really think that if they left the paper cover for the bookstore on it, we couldn't tell it was a light novel? Don't call them out like that, dude. They were just trying their best to stay out of the way. Most people were happily making Ghetto Froggy decorations or putting on Ghetto Froggy costumes and messing around. All the clubs had to participate in the festival, but so did all the classes. No one had told me, but evidently several months ago, we decided to do a Ghetto Froggy themed cafe.
ゲロカエルの声は女じゃん。
いや、そうだけどさ、そこは文化祭のノリ的なあれでいいじゃん、別に。違うってな。は？
Ito tilted his head in confusion. We've chosen negative.
そうだ、ゲロゲロ。
緑のゲロカエル。What? Why is this a negative delusion?
俺たちそんな話し方じゃないゲロ。カエルなめんなゲロ。
Suddenly, all the ghetto froggies in the classroom stood up on their own. There were easily more than 30 of them. It took me a second to process what I was saying. But who could blame me? Who wouldn't be surprised if a bunch of ghetto froggy dolls started walking around of their own free will? The next thing we knew, we were surrounded. We were like frogs in the clutches of a hungry snake. Or maybe humans in the clutches of angry frogs.
何これぬいぐるみが喋ってる
なんだこれキモ超ウケる
俺たちをバカにする奴らは許さんゲロ。目にもの見せてやるゲロ。血で血を洗う惨劇の始まりだゲロ。
What the fuck? Their eyes weren't smiling. This felt really bad.
ああクソカエルのぬいぐるみの分際でなんだって
One of my classmates carelessly approached the green ghetto froggy.
おいよせ
Oh! Ew! Ew, those noises are nasty! It was too late. The green ghetto froggy launched itself like a missile at his mouth and forced its way down his throat? That's someone's fantasy. Then it ripped its way out of his stomach from the inside. Something long, pink, and glistening slid out from the gaping hole in his stomach. Ew! That's when the screaming began. No one... Ew! These noises are nasty! I hate this! I regret this! No one escaped the classroom alive! The ghetto froggies showed no mercy! They indiscriminately slaughtered both boys and girls! And I was the least lucky of them all. I was the last survivor! The final girl was me! If only they'd killed me sooner, I wouldn't have had to piss myself in despair, trapped in a classroom where the walls were covered in blood and guts and brains. I would have had to see my classmates die.
お前は実験台にしてやるゲロ。人間パペットだゲロ。俺たちがお前の中に入って操ってやるゲロ。
This is nasty.
やめてくれ
すぐ楽になるから安心しろだゲロ。
安心して。The green frog leapt toward my mouth. A huge wet lump forced its way down my windpipe and inside of me. Okay, let's turn down that noise. Fuck, that's nasty. I should have chewed off my own tongue and died that way with a frog in my throat, but it was too late for regrets now. Okay, the negative delusion is now over. That's like something out of a cheesy horror movie. Wrongsiders these days preferred big-budget action movies. Something like this would never sell to them. I erased the stupid simulation from my mind and decided to get back on topic. I will never be the same again, is what's the problem with that. I took out my Pokécom and showed it to Ito.
で、これが今月の19日の事件の仮想。
Oh! This was... At the beginning, we saw two people, This is the second person that we were getting narration from. She was a singer who had really, she had like a super powerful vocals. It like hypnotized people.
これはまだ見てないな。どこで拾った？
事件のまとめウィキに一瞬な。消される前に魚拓取った。
ああ、こっちの方がアングルいいな。なあ、さっきのカラオケのやつと合わせてニヤ動にアップさせてくれよ。
What are they allowing on Nico Nico? You can't just post corpses on there, dude. Are you serious? That's ridiculous.
もう新聞部のオンラインストレージに上げてある。見やすいように加工して使ってくれ。
Oh my god, imagine you're part of a high school newspaper club and two people are taking it like way too seriously to the point that they were uploading photos of dead bodies to the school cloud storage. And they don't even care. That's ridiculous.
なんか最近再生数がいまいち伸びないんだよな。この前俺一人で作った動画のタグにもカメラ仕事しろとかアングル大体合ってないとか書かれるし。
You got some trolls? This angle sucks. Ito looked really upset. Well, I knew how he felt. The Hekiko Academy newspaper club had been the first in the nation to upload a video version of the school paper to Nikoniya. Our papers dealt with anything involving Shibuya. We'd done a special on the Shibuya restoration once that a local paper had written about. We won a special prize at a city journalism contest, and the video had received over 80,000 views despite being boring as hell. After that, though, I could understand being upset at the fact that new videos dealing with goings-on in Shibuya weren't breaking 2 digits.
カメラ仕事しろのタグをつけたのは僕だ。あれアングルひどいぞ。
Wow, that's so rude! Takuru! Why are you tagging his videos with that? You could just tell it to him instead of embarrassing him online.
ゲットしてきた。
おお、オリジナルじゃん。
疲れた。
A boyfriend and girlfriend walked in, evidently back from shopping. Their arms were full of ghetto froggy stuffed animals.
だから違うって。
は？いえ、だから何がだよ。
Ito hadn't noticed then. I looked at my classmates who were already beginning to play with their new toys and said,
前も話したことあったろ。大半の中高生は日頃アクセスしているサイトで情報レベルが知れるって。
He is such a snob. This was a personal theory of mine. Smartphones and Pokécoms have become a religion to the modern teenager, and the information they gain from these portable terminals had a huge influence on their lives. Some people only looked at SNSs like Tweepo, Rhine, and Facebook. Others at Channel and Nikoniya. Ah, Tweepo! Let's make some tweeps. Love to go to Facebook. Some looked at all of those sites as well as the links they found there. And then some looked at all those things as well as their favorite celebrity blogs, the big ad channel aggregators, and then whatever humor site was popular at the moment. All of these people were wrong-siders. And the scary thing was that these days, 9 out of 10 wrong-siders were teenagers. Ah, source, trust me, dude. Ghetto Froggy launched 6 years ago as a cell phone strap which got popular for reasons no one ever understood. And then lately, a combination of Ghetto Froggy memes on Tweepo, as well as an amateur anime posted to Nikoniya, if I remember right, it was a talking, dancing frog singing anime themes, had created a fad, though I hated to use the word for something so stupid. It amazed me that people honestly believe that the ribbit sounds made by the female actress in those videos were from the original. Or that the original was the stuffed animal that had come out recently and not the phone strap. My guess was that they only got their information from Tweepo.
それに男の場合はウェイトレスじゃなくてウェイターだって。
He could be a waitress if he wants to. This was one of the reasons I joined the newspaper club. I didn't want to end up like them. Anyway.
宮代くん?
A girl, evidently the one in charge of the waitresses, was talking to me. Who is she again? Fujita-san? Fujimoto-san. I think there was a Fuji.
何? Tanaka-san.
Wow! One of the most ordinary names. Couldn't even get that right. Tanaka. I was totally wrong.
あのさ、教室で流す映像のビデオ撮影のことなんだけどさ。
What is she talking about? Oh right, they're going to make their own version of the Nikoniya videos where they wear costumes and danced.
そのアップとかできるのかな？こうずっと同じで撮るんじゃなくて。
What? Is she telling me what to do? I didn't volunteer to videotape it. You guys forced me. Well, it's better than being told to dance or make props myself. Ah, listen to him.
そのフィックスじゃなくていろいろ動かせっていうことですか？
What is that? What is a fix? Refers to the act of fixing a camera in a single place and recording without moving it. Okay. Just gonna... Tweepo! Tweeps. Okay.
フィックス？よくわかんないけど。
できますよ。アップでもなんでも。
Wow, he was acting like such an asshole earlier, and now that someone's talking to him, he's so tongue-tied.
本当？よかった。じゃあ本番までにどこをどう撮ってほしいかまとめて渡すから。
And then she fled. Oh, Ito is looking at him so tiredly. That surprised me. Don't scare me like that. I was so nervous I was sweating a little. Ito looked at me and sighed. What?
お前、やっぱリア充じゃないわ。
What?
相変わらず慣れない相手だと挙取るし。丁寧。
しょうがないだろ。いきなりだったんだから。
And what's more, I made it a policy not to talk to anyone unless it was necessary. This was the first time in quite a while I'd spoken to any of my classmates but Ito.
どうだった？
なんか自慢されてなかった？フィックスとかなんとか。
んだそれ。またうんちくか？
They'd already started to spread meaningless information. Stop it! Hearing whispers about me in the classroom brought back bad memories. I was starting to have a hard time breathing.
おい、大丈夫か？
He's having a panic attack, dude. I must have looked like I was in pain because Ito was looking at me with concern on his face. I quickly nodded to show that I was fine.
陰口は聞こえないように言えってのな。しかも自慢でもうんちくでもなんでもないっての。
別に気にしてないよ。藤田さんは。
Tanaka.
誰だよ。
Yeah.
田中さんは情弱なだけなんだから。
That's right. It wasn't worth worrying about. She was just ignorant. Ito looked over at our other classmates who were having fun.
たく、オポチュニストが。
Obdurate? Obdurate? Uh-oh. What did that mean again? I knew I'd heard it before. I ran a search on my Pokecom, making sure not to let Ito see. Obdurate. Stubbornly refusing to change out of a lack of pity or remorse. Ruthless.
そうだな。言い当ててると思う。みんなと同じ方向にひよってるだけだよ。
まったくな。
Ito nodded, annoyed. Good. Looks like he didn't find out. That is so funny. He like did a quick search. I think it would be really obvious. Because he would have been silent for a little while while he was tapping on his phone.
いつの時代もスクールカーストの底辺にいる俺らオタクは上部にいる方たちに話のネタを提供する運命なのか。
Hold it. The school's social hierarchy wasn't something I cared about, but...
おい、僕はオタクじゃないぞ。
またかよ。
またってなんだ。理屈に合わないことが気持ち悪いだけだ。一石。
いい、ぶたなくていい。
オタクの定義は流動していて、当初あった悪いイメージは徐々に払拭されつつあるけれど、2015年現在でもアニメやらラノベやらゲームやらアイドルやらにハマっている人のことを指す場合が大半だ。
I don't know. Hakuder seems to be spitting right now. I thought I saw a boy reading a light novel turn toward me, but I didn't care.
僕はくだらないアニメやラノベは見ない。時間の無駄だ。
He's so rude! But dude, you watch an anime? Bloodtoon?
以前、お前なんかのアニメを絶賛してなかったか？なんだっけ？ブラチュ？
くだらないアニメは見ないと言ったんだ。素晴らしきかな我が人生や二人のベロニカとかの名画を検索しようとすらせずに同じようなアニメばっか見て。
Okay, some world building again. What are these? The Double Life of Veronica, fictional, a joint production between France and Poland, directed by Krzysztof Kieslowski. Chronicles the lives of two girls, both named Veronica, who were born in two different countries. The scene on the bus is a must-see, a masterpiece. We got some commentary right there. It's My Wonderful Life, fiction. An American movie directed by Blanc Capra and released in 1946. The film tells the story of the life of a man and the strange miracle he encountered on Christmas Eve. The climax of the movie, when the main character runs through the city, is truly unforgettable. In America, it is the quintessential Christmas movie, a timeless classic. Is it as timeless as fried chicken and Christmas? The hierarchy is most commonly divided into the upper class, preps, jocks, rich kids, the middle class, average Joes, and the lower class, nerds, otakus, shy kids. I don't think that's quite how that works.
このアニメを見てないやつはにわかだとか言ったり。
わかったって。
数列都市や冬の庭とかの名著。ああ、いいよねとか嘘ついて済ませてラノベばっか読んでいる。
Uh-huh. Okay, what are these? The Fiends, a novella, fictional, a novella published in 1992 by Kazumi Yuki. Depicts the relationship between three 6th grade boys and a senior citizen who lives alone. Translated into different languages all over the world and adapted into a movie and stage play as well. A book you'd want to read when you are the same age as the young boys. Transmutation City, fictional. A lengthy hard science fiction novel. What is hard science? Hard science fiction novel written by Greg Morgan in 1994. The book is told from the perspective of a human who comes to live inside a virtual world, and it provides an extensive lens into his views on immortality. The detailed theories and their progression throughout the book make this novel a must-read.
そういう自分の好きな知識しか吸収しないやつを言うんだ。オタクっていうのは。
カメラオタクってなんか怪しいイメージあるよな。
カメラオタク。
別に人様に迷惑かけなければいいんじゃん。好きなんでしょ。うちだってジョニオタだし。
What is a Johnny otaku? Who is Johnny? Stop it, please. More than anything, I don't want to be the same as you people. And then the door to the classroom flew open. Oh! We have another one. Okay. Let's do another poll. Okay. Poll for the next decision is up. We can do negative, positive, or neutral. Neutral is we don't choose anything and we just continue on. Positive is don't know. Negative is don't know either. If we don't pick anything, I'll just pick neutral this time. Because I hated those nasty noises. I do like this song. It's nice to just listen to it. We got a minute left in the poll. Default will be neutral. Okay, it's looking like it's just gonna be neutral. We have 30 minutes left in this stream. I wonder how many other choices we're gonna have to make. 'Cause I don't remember what happens. Okay. Looking like neutral. Okay, we're picking neutral. No choice. A female student was looking in. She must have been in a hurry because she was a little out of breath. She brushed her long hair out of her eyes and was about to come inside.
Oh, Jote! ちょうどよかった。
Yote. The whole class started talking to her.
ちょっと
She was about to say something when her foot caught on one of the cables running across the room. And she suddenly tripped. Oh, rip. She almost tripped, but managed to keep her balance. Aw, there's tears in the corner of her eyes. It's so cute. She smiled a bit and took a deep breath. All the students around her, boys and girls alike, began to move. They surrounded her as if they were welcoming a long-lost family member.
ちょっと誰？こんなところにケーブル置きっぱなしにしたの。のごめんね。
ジョテ、大丈夫か？
気にしないで。
A reminder that you can use your single hangshu for each of the words of the day in stenography. It'll just play a GIF on stream. That'll go on for about 10 to 20 minutes. 10 to 20 seconds. Just to show you how things are written in stenography. We have one for Halloween, and we have one for the current word of the day on Merriam-Webster, and one for the previous words of the day. So they'll play in chronological order, I believe. You just keep redeeming them until you get all the ones that were there. She answered them with a smile. I felt like our eyes met. I looked away without thinking. Kurusu Nono, the first student council president of Hekiko Academy. That's also...
うちの喫茶でキッチン側とそれ以外のこっち側のなんてのお客さんスペースってか
There's also a redeem for making me forcing you to speak in Spanish for like a sentence or two. The other part, what do you call it where the customers sit? Yeah, what do you call that? The dining area? Kurusu smiled a little as she spoke.
ホール側？
The hall, okay.
そうそうホールだ。そのさ、間を仕切る暗幕の数の調整ってワックンしてくれた？
Mr. Wacky is a funny name for a teacher.
調整？涌井先生が増田くんにそう言ったの？
Oh, Wacky is his nickname.
え、聞いてない？
ということは絶対やってないでしょうね。わかった。私から言っておく。
大丈夫？なんか女帝、先生たちから目つけられてんじゃん。てか、怖がられてんじゃん。
生徒会長なんて生徒側から学校側に無理難題を押し付けるためにいるものでしょ。大丈夫。なけなしの権力を振りかざすから。あと増田くん、女帝はやめて。
ほほほ、サンキュー、女帝。
あなたね。
Most of the boys in the class call Kurusu Empress as a joke. She'd gotten the name after becoming a hero to her fellow students through gallant deeds, like putting an end to the principal's endless homeroom speeches. Not to mention bringing more types of bread to the school store.
No, Kigurumi ありがとね。ぴったりだった。
Kigurumi? Oh, that sounds like a cute costume! A full ghetto froggy kugurumi.
田中
Kigurumi.
それ私が試着した時最後までファスナー上がらなかったんだけど
Oh, that's interesting. Her name has the repeat symbol in it. So it's just no, and then this makes it repeat. So it's no. Also, is this future or come? Interesting name.
地雷呼び込み禁止にするからね
あーごめん嘘ピチピチだからこれは割とマジでいやてかどうせ胸で引っかかったんでしょ
冗談期待してるから笑いとってよ
She sure was popular. She even knew the names of students in other classes. The top of the school's social hierarchy. That was the first phrase that came to mind. And then...
タクル話があるのちょっと来てくれる
Kurusu walked all the way over to me and Ito. Her expression was so kind it seemed like she had to be putting on some kind of act. I could see that all the people who had been surrounding her were staring at me.
女帝カメラっ子に何の用だ友達なのか
知らないのノノは
はあマジで
I ignored my classmates' whispers and focused on Kurusu. Her smile seemed fake, as if it had been plastered onto her face. Whenever she smiled like that, it meant she wasn't in a good mood.
今はごめん。事件に関して気づいたことがあって、それをまとめている最中なんだ。生徒会文化祭の準備が佳境だろ。だからクルスが落ち着いたらで。
Why is she crying a little bit? Why? Her cheeks twitched a little. Crap. Kurusu didn't like when I called her by her last name.
ちょっと来てくれる武士
I could sense a dark aura forming around her, hardly befitting a so-called empress.
来てくれる
She's so close to me.
行こうか物質なあ宮代
Ito couldn't handle the terror. It didn't look like I could talk my way out of this one. Seeing no other choice, I nodded and stood up.
クルス
Gah.
クルスちょっと
グラウンドに出す屋台のコンロの数でしょやっぱり一つの屋台につき一つで統一する
いやそれはおう
悪いけど例外はなし校長に掛け合ったけどダメだったから人数が多くて不満があるところは私が後で直接説明に行く
了解いやじゃなくてなんで持ち場離れて
クルスだから忙しかったら落ち着いたらでいいって。
Oh, he sounds so anxious now, so nervous.
もう終わったからごめんね川原くん急ぎなの
Her tone was gentle but brooked no argument as she hurried to the club room. Oh! We have another choice. I'll just pick neutral.
宮代またお前か今度は何したんだ
Kawahara-kun cut her off. I didn't know his first name. He was in the same class as Ito and I, and he was the vice president of the student council.
いやいい言わなくても分かってるまた例のくだらない記者ごっこだろそれとも探偵気取りか
I knew why he was giving me a hard time. He didn't like the fact that Kurusu was spending time with me.
別にその
何？
川原くんに迷惑はかけてないと思いますけど。
かかってるんだよ。クルスの時間が割かれると同じ生徒会の俺たち全員にな。
That just sounds like an excuse, dude. You should back off. I'm not wasting my time with this. There's no point. I tried to ignore him and just walk on by.
お前、小中と不登校だったんだって？
I could feel my legs tense up. I stopped. My face got hot, and without thinking, I glared accusingly at Kurusu. She quickly shook her head.
川原くん、急いでいるから。
But he kept on staring at me. I felt like he was grinning a little. It pissed me off. But there was nothing I could say. I did the best I could to ignore him and turn away. I ignored what sounded like a little laugh and hurried to the club room. Oh, this dude's an asshole too.
違うからね。
The second the three of us were alone in the club room, her expression changed. Remember to clean up! What does that say? Bars? Bars. Do not open. The smile plastered on the student council president's face disappeared. This was who she really was.
何が？
川原くんが言ってたこと。私が彼に言ったわけじゃないから。
別に気にしてないよ。
嘘。
It's either jumbo bars or mumbo bars. You had it set to M for mumbo. Really, it didn't. Everything about me was different than it used to be.
まあまあ。で、何？副部長。話があんでしょ
Kurusu sighed and changed the subject.
タクル、あなたちゃんとご飯食べてるの？少し痩せたんじゃない？
Huh? Where was this coming from?
これからどんどん寒くなってくるでしょ？住んでるところの防寒対策とかちゃんとしてるんでしょうね。
Ugh, crap, she's in nag mode.
進路調査、結局就職で提出したんですって？進学で提出しなさいって言ったのに、勉強できないわけじゃないんだから。確かに今からだと厳しいけど、受験なら私が面倒見るってこれも前に言ったでしょ？
She just really cares about him.
調べたの？というより、話ってそれ？
どうなの？ちゃんと食べてるの？
食べてるよ。大丈夫だって。
I waved my hand to bring the conversation to a close. I didn't want this to end the way it used to, with a 6-hour lecture about how every aspect of my life was wrong, followed by hard labor as my punishment. Hard labor! Kurusu looked like she still had a lot more to say, but a moment later...
あなた、先週の金曜日、学校サボったでしょ？
Huh? Oh, so that's what this is all about.
サボったよ。別に問題ないだろ。
あるに決まってるでしょ？どこで何してたの？ストレージにアップした画像、あれを撮りに行ってたんじゃないの？
Damn it, I figured that would be it. She was right. The pictures I'd taken from the karaoke box were from last Friday when I'd skipped school. Wow! Good job being really obvious about it, Takuru. And it's especially weird to be uploading them to the school storage. Don't do that! You're gonna get in so much trouble. You can't just upload pictures of dead bodies to the school cloud storage. I'd started staking out the place early in that morning and waited for the manager of the condo building to open the curtains.
苦労したんだ。でもおかげで警察以外まだ誰も見てない現場の画像を撮れた。
My dude. This is not good behavior. Oh shoot.
こういう事件ばかり追いかけるのはやめなさいって前から言ってるでしょ。
She's right, you know. Kurusu was the vice president of the newspaper club and had been opposed to ethos and my journalistic ethos for a long time. We'd spend most of our time investigating crimes in Shibuya. Stuff like the attacks and the homeless people that had been flooding the city ever since the earthquake. And urban legends about a company involved in the rebuilding who'd put up tons of security cameras all around the city. And a serial arson case where the culprit had never been caught. And now these strange deaths. For her part, Kurusu said that a student paper shouldn't be investigating crimes. She wrote normal, sincere articles and made normal, sincere videos. The video about the Shibuya recovery efforts that had won a prize had been mostly her work.
タクル、今回あなたおかしい。学校をサボってまで事件を追うなんて今までなかったでしょ。
That was true. But the reason why was obvious, right? I was lucky enough to have this huge mystery right in front of me.
今回に関しては学校をサボるのもしょうがないよ。
なぜ？
だって新聞部を立ち上げてから初めて起こった渋谷での大きな事件じゃないか。こんな美味しいネタ。
おいしい？
What a funny noise. That face was bad news. It was scary. Ito was right next to me, so I grabbed him and held him tight.
おい、縦にすんなって。え、縦なの？てか副部長、何その顔？
おいしいですって？人が死んでるっていうのに？
Kurusu is right! No, you're correct. I've been saying this from the beginning too. It is fucked up.
違います。すいません。
Stay away from me. I really can't handle this.
すんなって。ちょっと待って、マジで縦なの？や
ばい。
That face was seriously bad news. The Empress was scary enough that she could send a demon running in terror. I'd never even met a demon either. That's just how scary she was.
もう一度言ってくれる？よりによってあなたが人が死んで美味しいですって？
Oh shit. I needed to find some way to stop her. And then I felt the wind rush by my ears. Wait, what happened? Oh! At the worst possible time, the wind blew through the room. Kurusu didn't have time to hold down her skirts. My eyes were locked with Kurusu's as I heard the sounds from the open window. I hadn't even realized it was open until then. There was a tennis court on top of the special use building. That was probably the tennis team out there. Ah! I needed to say something. Was I supposed to tell her I hadn't seen anything?
副部長？白なんですね。イメージ通りというか。
Why are you saying that? You don't need to comment on her underwear color. Idiot, are you trying to get yourself killed?
私の下着の色が何色か今関係あんのか?
I flinched at the sudden noise. I'm sorry. And then I realized. I was sure that was the sound of Kurusu hitting the wall, or maybe the sound of her murdering Ito, but I was wrong. It was coming from deeper inside the room.
あの子はまったく。
Oh, she's playing the game from Chaos Head. This is an MMO that they played. Ah, I forget what it's called.
カズキ、来てたの？カズキ？そうか、ヘッドホン。
She is gaming for real. She's got those headphones on. She's banging the wall. Kurusu sighed and pulled off the headphones that Kazuki always wore.
円数2でイラついたからって壁を殴るのはやめなさい。何度も言ってるでしょ。
ESO2, fictional, short for Empire Sweeper Online 2, the sequel to the MMORPG that once boasted the highest player count in all of Japan, Empire Sweeper Online. Like its predecessor, the game has been very well received. While the vast majority of users have moved on to ESO2, the inability to transfer character data from the first game has caused a small number of veteran users to remain the original ESO. The game takes place in the medieval Europe-inspired fantasy world. Okay, I sneezed. It was so sudden, I got scared. The game takes place in the medieval Europe-inspired fantasy world of Base Lard, where countless adventures are just waiting to unfold. Wow, that sounds like an advertisement for this fictional game.
壁へこんでるじゃない、もう。
He's so cute. Kazuki Hana. I'm about to sneeze again. Hold up. Never mind. False alarm. The only first-year student in the newspaper club. But forget her. This was my chance. As Kurusu was rubbing the red marks on Kazuki's hand, I said,
とにかく僕は事件を追う。発見があったんだ。もしかしたら大きな手がかりになるかもしれない。
Kurusu glared at me for a moment, but...
おお、マジか。よし、すぐ準備する。聞かせてくれ。ぜひ聞かせてくれ。
Ito hurried over to the club's computer, desperate for any chance to escape his doom. I stared back at Kurusu for a moment, and then...
PC 立ち上げて、ストレージの画像プリントアウトしてくれ。
了解だ。
All of the photos? Ito's voice was louder than it needed to be as he turned on the computer.
もう殴らないこと。いい？
Maybe she took pity on poor Ito, but she didn't say anything else. But she still crossed her arms and glared at us as she leaned against the wall. It looked like she was at least going to hear me out. Or maybe this was just her way of making sure I didn't escape.
お前、後で飯をおごれよ。なんで？やだよ。
盾にしやがって気まずすぎんだろ。こんなもん10-0の巻き込まれ事故じゃねえか。
それは謝るけど、でも今回はまだマシだ。手が出なかったから。え？手って副部長？
I nodded. Kurusu was the girl that everyone looked up to, but she was actually very short-tempered. It would take me more than 5 fingers, but less than 10 to count the number of times she'd slapped me hard. When I told him that...
マジか。そんな、なんていうか、ありなの？そんなことする女子高生本当にいんのか？ヒスか S っ子手前じゃん。
Oh, don't talk about her like that, you misogynistic pervert.
ねえ、あなた方。陰口は聞こえないように言えって言われないの？
Chekhov's talking behind someone's back line. The nearly crazy bitch didn't even bother looking at us as she spoke. Oh my god, don't talk about her like that. She's incredibly reasonable.
言ったことはあるんだけどね。 それもついさっき教室で。
そう。
And then she fell silent. She was scary as hell. I felt like if I moved, she'd kill me.
おごりだ。決定だ。大盛りにデザートだ。異論は認めん。
高校じゃん、今のは。
Actually, it was 100% Ito's fault for not keeping his mouth shut.
なあ。
What?
見たか？見たよな。
Her underwear? Come on, dude. Let's move on.
見てないよ。
That was a lie. I'd seen it. They were white. Oh my god. Let's move on. I glanced at Kurusu out of the corner of my eye. I guess that really just was what you'd expect. Still, I had only gotten a glimpse. It was entirely possible I'd been mistaken. If I burned the image into my brain now, maybe the next time something like this happened, I'd be able to react more quickly. So I prayed for more good luck. If it ever did happen again, I swore I would react as a right-sider should. A right-sider wouldn't panic over something as insignificant as seeing a girl's underwear. In a situation like that, it was critical that you stayed calm. When she heard Ito turn on the printer, Kazuki trotted over like she usually did. We are just gonna do neutral. No time for a poll. That online game addict had the best computer skills of anyone in the club. Whenever she was around, it was her job to run searches and organize the information on the PC, but...
手伝わなくていい。この件については部の活動と認めてないから。
Kazuki gave us a questioning look.
あと、
Nyahoo! Just at work at the moment, but just wanted to pop in and say hi. Wish you a good stream. Thank you! Thank you! Nanko pitanko. Arigatou gozaimasu. Hope you're having a good day at work. I appreciate it, though you probably can't hear because the ad break started. Ad break has ended. Thank you for stopping in. Have a good day at work. Kazuki just said, like she always said, and walked away. Kazuki put her headphones on and went back to the corner of the room. She started slamming keys again. I never did know how to talk to her. Actually, it felt like it had been forever since I'd even spoken to her. If you could even call that a conversation, that is. She'd been part of the newspaper club for 6 months, and all I knew about her was that she liked games, knew a lot about computers, and hated talking. In the end, Ito printed out the pictures, so I took them and went in front of the bulletin board before Kurusu changed her mind. If Kurusu was going to list it, was probably better to start at the beginning. She didn't seem interested in the cases, but if I ignored her and it made her even madder, even using Ito as a shield wouldn't be enough to save me.
今僕らが追っている事件は2つ。まず1つ目は今月の7日に起きたニコニア生放送公開自殺事件。通称こっちみんな。場所はここ、神南。事件の内容は名前の通り、ニコニア動画で生放送していた男が放送中に突然自殺した。
Cause of death, blood loss from cuts. He was 21 years old. Case details. Ootani was a Nico-Nia live streamer who did regular shows called Today I Learned I Can See the Future, where he would make prophecies. He cut off his own right arm in the middle of a live stream, put it on a plate, and then ate it in front of his audience. After that, he most likely died from blood loss. It seems likely he committed suicide in a fit of insanity. Police are looking for whoever visited his room directly before the suicide. They're considering prosecution for abetting a suicide.
厳密に言うと完全に自殺と決まったわけじゃないんだけど、死んだ時の状況からそう言われてる。 名前は大谷優馬、21歳。俺氏、未来が見えてしまう件についてっていう予言者もどきみたいな放送を定期的にやって結構アクセス数を稼いでいたニア生主で、その状況だけど、まず放送中に大谷氏はコメントを設ける時間をとって一旦カメラ前から姿を消す。その後ドアがノックされて誰かが来たらしい音をわずかだけどマイクが拾ってる。聞き取れないけど何かを話す声も。そしてカメラ前に戻ってくると右腕が半分なくなってた。細かく切断されて自分が持ってきた皿の上に乗ってたんだ。そしてその指を自分で食べた。まるで痛みを感じていない素振りで。
This might be good for actually. Nope, nope, we're not doing that. Right click and we can save. Okay. Oh, that was 2. Forgot. Left to right to left. Okay, I'll end it here. I'll continue the game tomorrow. It'll first be Cuphead and then Chaos Child. Hopefully at my regular time of 9 p.m. And we'll just reread some of the backlog so that we can get a review of what happened at the beginning of the game so people can catch up. Okay. I did do... Yep, I did double save. Okay, we're at the title menu. Now I'll find someone to raid and then I'll log off. 2Q is playing Words on stream. They're doing a 72-hour anniversary debut stream. So let's send some love over to 2Q. We'll do... Wait, did I do a shout out? I meant to do a raid. Okay. Okay. We got 6 viewers. Okay, bye-bye everyone. Thank you.